audience.
Yeah, who's my target audience?
Marketing.
What would I make for myself to use? What do I have for my population? What's my unique service?
How we studying the people that we watching.
Mm.
Yep. Find the person. Find most successful person you can find on IG and study them.
So I want to start there. So how y'all feel like y'all doing with that?
With all of it.
No, the finding, my bad. The finding,
Not
like,
good.
not good.
Finding my audience.
No,
Successful person.
yeah, the successful person or the people or the pages.
Oh, I think I'm doing kind of good. I found a couple girls in Cleveland that had 30,000, 76,000 followers. But the part that the disconnect is coming from is like remaking or studying their videos for real, like the technicals,
Give us an example. What you mean?
like really sitting and taking to the lab how many seconds this part is, what they doing, what they showing, what they not, and actually being able to recreate and do that.
So So what's the disconnect?
The part of being able to really understand it, to redo it, or that it ain't been taken to the lab long enough to do so.
Okay, so you feel like you looking at the videos and you don't know what they did, or you just ain't did what you see that they did?
Like a mixture of both of them. Like, because when I'm doing content with people, like when I tried to redo Destinies or whatever, it's like, okay, you gotta have a certain type of client for this. They gotta want to be engaged too. So then when I do somebody that's like faceless or reusing somebody that's less clientele but more so process, it's like doing a time lapse of the shit that's long, doing a video of that, and then really not getting stuck on the fact that I gotta do that or use it right now.
That part lost me. The end part, you said you
Like
got.
when we talked about old content being good content.
Yeah.
And testing myself to not use new content. And mixing, but also like, if I can, mixing the two.
Yeah. I got you.
And then the lab footage.
Right. So, I mean, it's funny because it sounds like you just becoming more aware. You could becoming more aware of more stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know that you got to be literal when you recreating the content.
Gotcha. But when you study,
So it's almost like using the footage that you have or your style of shooting and filling that in places where, like, so it's almost like if you looked at a 20-second video of somebody else's, and in that 20-second video, you break that video down to a shot of the process, a shot of the hair, a shot of the client. It might not be as literal or specific as exactly what that client might be doing. It might not be the same hairstyle, but it might be the same amount of seconds. You know what I'm saying?
so not like constricting myself to not have creative freedom with that shit.
Exactly.
Something
Exactly.
I gotta
Yep. So you might want to try to study the content you're looking at from a technical and a conceptual standpoint. And your conceptual process might be different than what you're studying. But your technical execution
would
would
be similar.
be similar.
Because conceptual mean like who, what.
The difference between the hairstyles, the difference between the process of the hairstyles. That's the conceptual side, right? Like you might be looking at a video and they doing, and then you actually got footage that's,
stitch braids.
you feel what I'm saying? Conceptual.
Okay.
But in those two different conceptual approaches, They might have a video that starts with the client, then you see the process, then you see the end result. You might have seen the inspiration photo. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the technique.
Mm. Okay.
You know? And when you do that, you can expand your research on content because it don't matter if it's the same subject matter. You just put your subject in place of whatever subject you studying.
Right.
You know, you could look at it like, oh, this is the service. It starts with my service, then I show my client, then I show my process, because that's what you looked at on a video that was about basketballs.
Not only looking at operators too.
Right. But just everything that you're saying to me speaks to you trying to become more aware of, you know, you've seen a lot, which is good. But then you should also challenge yourself to, if you're gonna make some new content, to try to mimic it. Ain't no reason not to. It's a part of the experiment.
Because the one thing that I have been able to mimic or get in is like what they talking about. It's like when I screenshot and enjoy how they have articulated what they are trying to say, that is easier than taking that video to the lab and trying to do exactly what she did and not putting my own spin on it. You getting overwhelmed with not.
Right. And you already know, I'm gonna say focus on the harder stuff. The best assignments and the hardest assignments that I remember getting in photography was the assignment where I had to recreate somebody's photograph without being able to know what they actually did and what they used. And when my end result didn't necessarily look like theirs, but I learned so much trying to recreate it, you know?
Yep.
And I came up with my own thing by accident. So you said you having a hard time with it?
Yeah, I just don't know like what to do to, like, how do you even know how do you find the people that you want to follow? These inspiration, motivation, successful people. Like, I don't know if it's not like authors. I don't really know, or unless you share them, I don't really know how to seek them out.
Right. Well, I think what I started doing to try to figure out who to follow, what pages to follow, is I was trying to get specific on what I'm trying to learn. And I think part of what you're learning is business, which means marketing and sales. And I think you're supposed to try to follow pages that help with what you know as well as what you're trying to learn. So if it's education and young people, you know, that's one of the things you know. If it's writing, that's one of the things you know. Publishing a book, that's something that you know. Poetry, that's something that you know. Your general interest, right? Influencers who speak to your general interest, whatever those general interests are. And then pages that support what you're trying to learn. So if you're trying to learn content, social media, marketing, social media sales, productizing your knowledge, those help you narrow down. That's the pot you want to find. That's the rabbit hole you're trying to find.
Right, but how do you do that? Do you put in the search, business, marketing?
Yeah, you go down a rabbit hole. You definitely take it to the lab. You definitely.
Yeah, and honestly, most of what I share is the rabbit holes that you're talking about, at least on the business and marketing side. You know, or talking to us to see if we,
Yeah, because it's only really one person that's got kind of, I mean, not one, but the person that I really want to kind of mirror what they're doing is, and that's the writing part, not the youth and that, not that, but the writing. Ariana Brown is like doing here's the experience of, like, here was my experience of being in an MFA program. Here's my experience being a writer without a community. Here's my experience, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's like the only person, so I don't really know. How do I find more hers?
Well, you might not be looking for more of her. You actually might be looking for people who represent the variation of things that she's actually doing, separate from who she is as a writer. Like, so if she has courses, then you might be looking for influencers who talk about a lot about courses. If she got ebooks, you feel what I'm saying? Like, you can use her and you can allow what she's doing to help you know, are you familiar with this, Like, because if what she's doing is successful based on kind of going into that link tree, you'll be able to see, oh, she sells a book, oh, she has a community, oh, you could subscribe to this, oh, she has a newsletter. All those are splinters into more influencers who specialize in getting your mind conditioned to those other areas. If you like the story that she's telling, if you relate to the story, you identify with the story, your story is similar, you might be looking at her page for that. Like, I follow one person, two people pages because they speaking, but not specifically what they're speaking about. But then there's a couple other pages that I follow those pages because I like what they're talking about, even though I appreciate these other people's delivery or the message, or, some people on stage versus some people doing a podcast. And it's like the podcast, I love the conversation. The guy on stage, I love the delivery. The graphic design page, I love their memes. Another page that's marketing, I love the reels. You feel what I'm saying? But it's somebody that's coming on this timeline, and it ain't a lot, but I got something that represents marketing. And every time I look at one of those posts, out of the hundreds or thousands of posts, is more marketing insight. It's talking about McDonald's. It's talking about the secret behind BMW. It's talking about symbols, but everything is about marketing. And then if they say put marketing in the comments to get the ebook to learn my marketing strategy, right? But then I got somebody who's talking strictly about sales and the art of sales and storytelling. So I'm literally following a page or two that represents the things that I'm trying to learn. One person I follow because they talk to two pages, a whole population of artists. One person is putting up memes and videos and reels, and another person only posts memes with long text, but he got a subscription and he got a podcast. So I listen to the podcast. I get the newsletter. So I engage with the pages and I participate in what they've set up, because by participating in what they set up is helping put all that information in front of me on a regular basis. It's like helping change my mind a little bit. It's helping shift my belief that this unfamiliar direction is a direction I could see myself going in and it benefiting what I'm doing. But these are the people who emailing me. the photographer, a lot of the workshops this one lady do is about the journey of self. So I done found a photographer who got a $50 class that they just give you photo prompts that's about personal discovery, which ties into me to self-actualization. In the self-actualization book I read, and that guy who got a coaching course for $5,000 on how to be a self-actualization coach. I ain't gonna buy the course. I mean, I'm not gonna buy the course, but I get his posts, I get his memes, I get his reels, because I'm in the world of self-actualization. So my daily emails a lot of them are representative of the pages that I follow intentionally to help me constantly be thinking about what I'm supposed to be working on. You know?
It was like the stuff that you're looking at, the stuff that you're watching, the stuff that you participating in is helping you figure out what exactly you want to do.
Yes. Yep. Because it's giving me stuff to experiment with. And it's like, okay, I experimented in this way, and I'm gonna go 50 posts, and this is how I'm gonna post it because I like the way somebody else's page looked. And it was like, or I get a good response. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep that. And then I'll experiment in a different way based on something else that I seen. And eventually those experiments start saying, oh, I really want my videos to be black and white, and then I'm gonna be talking, I'm gonna cut them up fairly quick. I like the ones that's about a minute, sometime maybe a little more, because I watch the feedback from the 30-second videos versus the 3-minute videos. I like kind of being in between. I want them to look consistent, even though I'm recording them in multiple locations. So I'm gonna gray it out, make the words pop. You know, I'm like developing my style through experimentation based on what I'm seeing that I'm attracted to.
Gotcha.
And I'm really not paying attention to anything else on social media. Like, it's no other purpose that it serves for me other than this.
Other than what you want to learn and what you want to experiment with.
Yeah, like my timeline literally is a reminder of what I'm supposed to be focused on. Literally. So it's helping me create the habit of writing the stuff down, taking the notes, printing them out, organizing it, coming up with talking points. Our Monday meeting and this meeting is further helping me organize the information that I'm getting to share it back out, to be able to record the video of it. You know, like literally trying to take the time to create a full system to share what I know, to share what I'm learning, to organize it. And because those three things seem like the root of what these knowledge-based products are selling, or what these social media businesses kind of are doing, the ones that's not selling a service or a physical product. Like I'm really trying to learn how to make money off of the information. And it's working. And it's weird because I don't know that it's working until I'm in a conversation about it.
Sort of like something like this.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And one person that I followed, maybe, I don't know which one it was. It might have been Danco. But either way, he kind of really breaking down, taking people through the learning journey. Like, ultimately with this, I'm sharing what I'm learning in real time. I'm sharing the process of my learning. And I ain't got to the destination. I don't have something that people can download and buy the knowledge. It's like I'm going through the process that I'm sharing with y'all. You know, not too far ahead of with the results, you know? But I definitely think the mindset shift is a thing. Cause I think that was my first goal. Is my first step when I'm learning something new is usually to try to turn it into an obsession first. Because if I can turn what I want to learn into something that I'm always thinking about, it makes it easier for me to go really start to learn it. So I usually come up with a plan to be forced to engage with it.
And surrounding yourself with it.
Yeah. Yep. So that's usually my first thing, is to make it where it ain't something that I can ignore or something that I could brush off or something. I want to feel guilty if I miss time to engage with it. So that'd be my first step, is how do I turn this into an obsession? What you think?
I mean, just thinking about that, making a plan to be forced to be engaged with it. I'm just thinking about how I'm not really posting or engaging with this thing that I'm trying to get obsessed with, except for on Tuesdays and maybe one other day. Social media content posting. It's like I'm only doing it on Tuesdays. Really on Tuesdays. Because on Tuesdays is when I usually post, like in the middle of us talking. So I was just sitting here thinking, like, well, what do I be doing on the other days? What am I doing, like in the evening?
Gotcha. What was you doing?
Well, it's like Wednesday through Sunday. That's what I was sitting here thinking about. I was like, usually on Wednesdays.
See, I got a question for you.
I don't know. I can't really think. It's like, what do I
Are you on social media on days that you're not posting?
Absolutely.
So you might wanna consider swapping some of the time that you're on social media and use that time to be on social media to help build the obsession of what you're trying to learn. Because being on social media isn't the barrier, but what you doing on social media might be the barrier. But if you own one of the apps, you just about as close as you can get.
Oh, okay. I know. Wednesday. Just if I go through this Wednesday last week, I was at Virtual Book Club. Thursday. You know, it's just like it's always some little thing that I'm doing in the evening.
Are you on social media? What was you about to say?
But it was about to basically ask, like, are you surrounding yourself with, like, even the pages that you follow? Are you engaging with them? Like the writers, the da-da-da-da-da. Because usually when I'm on social media, whatever is on social media is making me want to go do something.
You were saying, is that what's happening to me?
Yeah, like, are you following pages that are more interested in learning?
I mean, like, yeah, everything that I'm following is the stuff that I need to be following, but perhaps there are 2 specific pages that I might need to unfollow because they seem to dominate my timeline.
But what I was gonna ask you
And
is,
that's the Jasmine Brand and the Remembrance page.
right, but what I was gonna ask is the days where you trying to figure out what you were doing and saying you be having these things that you gotta do. When you doing those things, are you not scrolling on social media that day because you got these things to do?
Not the whole day.
Which means it's only an excuse.
Right.
You know? Because the thing about it, if you went to your Instagram screen time, you would see how much time you spend on Instagram daily.
Right.
And using them hours, that time,
Yes.
to engage with more beneficial things or things that surround yourself with the shit you
Which could,
doing.
yeah, which could easily just be posting, making content.
Then if it ain't making content, it's studying the content.
Yes. Yeah, so get in tune with that screen time and trade the entertainment side of social media for the educational side. You know?
And you don't gotta make new stuff. You
Yeah,
got
I've
a
been
lot
trying
of
that.
videos, you got a lot of pictures, you got a lot of notes, you got a lot of stuff.
You got a lot of content.
You got heartstrings
With-
attached to them? Like you
What, my memes?
no, like the other shit that you don't post. Do you have an attachment to it that you don't want to share with the world?
I mean, it ain't no reason other than I'm just not doing it. It ain't no, like, I'm not posting that because I have an attachment or because...
But it is a reason, even if we don't know what the reason is yet.
And then maybe it's because I'm thinking that I gotta follow this thing that I've just started, which are this black or this pink or this blue,
Right, gotcha.
versus breaking it and just boom, here go a big picture of me putting on lip gloss. or
Yes.
whatever the fuck.
And the fact that the last conversation that we had, we talked about how you don't like wearing the same outfit twice, which means that you don't like posting the same thing twice.
Right, but that's not the same thing twice because
No.
that's new content.
Right. But it's in your phone, and it feels like that type of stuff is being engaged with the same kind of way that the pink memes was at first. The shit that is from 2020, from 2019, from 2021, is like you don't engage with that stuff and you want to make new stuff. Screenshots, agendas, shit that you already doing, making, having, and holding.
I'm not saying I'm supposed to say that, making heaven hold it.
Not engaging.
And the thing about it is you're already documenting this stuff.
Exactly.
So it ain't even like you need to take pictures of this stuff. You already have taken pictures. Like you document, which is good. Now you can just play with your,
So my page can just be a big mosh podge of...
well, your,
You probably looking at it like it's a mess.
right. And this is the thing. You need to experiment with what your page is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's easy to start off with just allowing your page to be like a documentation tool. It's like your life. It's like a social media scroll, a documentary.
Like your page at the bottom. Like if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can see everything that you was doing every other week.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Especially with sisterhood.
That's what I'm saying. It was all sisterhood.
Right, but that was a part of a part of your story.
But that was all that I was posting. Just like now, all I'm posting is the pink, black,
Right.
or blue meme.
So imagine that you started posting interchangeably all the stuff that you ever posted when you was posting them in one block. Like what if you put up a meme about black girls and you had a clip about sisterhood and then you had a poem where you're talking about, I mean, the fact that you've already went through different time periods posting one specific thing, if you took all of those individual things and started to weave them in,
Like a braided essay. And if you wanted to have a template, a schedule, a da-da-da-da-da, you might want a meme, a post, a dot, or whatever you want it to be, however you want your page to look.
and you won't know how you want your page to look until you start playing around with seeing how it looks. Like you're gonna figure it out after you do it, not before you do it.
But Instagram do have like templates where you can set it up a certain kind of way. With like a special, where she put her picture in the middle all the time, and on both ends is always a quote. She's posting in a specific order to make that happen and look a certain way.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you thinking?
Yeah, on my ass. I mean, not in a bad way.
Yeah, it didn't seem like you said it like it's in a bad way.
But no, it's yeah. This also this I said this before, but it just definitely is overwhelming. But it's overwhelming because I don't have a plan. That's the problem. I need a plan. I need to.
So you think a plan would make it easier?
Everything else in my life is a plan. It's a schedule. It's a routine. It's organized. This is the thing that's just this big ether of shit, which is why it's not getting anything. Anything is not getting done. Nothing is getting done, rather. Or it's very sporadic. But I feel like I need to, do this, do that, do this, do that, like type of thing. Instead of scrolling, study. Or if I'm not studying, then I need to post. And then I need to have a day where I'm creating content, or a day where I'm pulling from new content or old content. I need like a plan.
Can we set it now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think maybe we don't gotta do it now during this, but we can do it after.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like I need to do that. Put it in my phone, alert me, just like with every other fucking thing I do. That's why I don't miss. That's why I'm so organized. That's why everything, except for this.
Well, but all of the other stuff you've committed to it.
So it's still
Right, I've committed because it's a plan there.
You committing first. You're committing, and then you're creating a plan when you're in it.
So then going back to believing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
That this is the answer.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because you sit and tell us that you don't have time to be on social media, and then we can pop your phone open and know that it ain't true. You're doing something else when you're on here. And if we go into your Explorer page, we could look right at what you're looking at. And it ain't about to be Jasmine Brand or Cleveland Remembrance page type content. What that face mean? Let's see.
Yeah, I know what it is.
I know what it is too.
It's hair, nails, and aesthetics.
And clothes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rico, shut up.
Now Rico, shut up. Susie don't even do hair.
Look, everyone ain't a writer, a social. I mean, you got influencers on here. Like they probably selling stuff, but you been inside any of they link
I
trees?
don't even know the fucking Explore page is that long.
The Explorer page is endless.
Yeah, keep you on.
Yeah, it ain't about to stop.
But I don't be on the Explore page.
That's what
The Explore page is a collection of what you be on,
It's the stuff that you click interested in, and then,
or you look at the longest.
and they generate it for you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. See, that's why I said shut up, Rico.
Lula Rue said she definitely think your followers want to see you more. Lula Rue, they want to see you talk too.
Yep, and then I can reload your Explorer page, and it still give me same thing. All
So y'all
hairstyles.
wanna see me more, or like
Oh.
What was said?
she want to? My followers want to see me more.
Yeah.
I don't got none of that. Oh, yes, I do. I got the writings and the readings.
You got the writings and the readings. You ain't even post John Carroll in university in Spanish.
Right, but that's because you ain't committed to the act of actually posting. I mean, because I listen to people who really know what they're talking about say, what's the one woman? It might be Nikki. But it's that posting is not a social media strategy. Like posting every day is not a social media strategy. Posting every day is getting you in rhythm to be able to learn how to create a plan and a strategy. Once you done built up the muscle memory, you know, to do it. And then the natural next thing starts to become, oh, I need to plan this out. I need to come up with a strategy. I need to get the scheduler. I need to post this stuff further in advance. But it's harder to commit to the plan, and it's harder to create a strategy. It's harder to build, start to schedule it if you don't even have the regular exercise and rhythm and muscle memory of posting. Because some of us, and I keep saying 35 and ups, we need to develop the desire to post. Period. It ain't a part of we wasn't born into this. It's a mindset shift that we need to take place. Because we didn't come up being able to share stuff in real time. We didn't come up with being able to share anything unless we were picked, selected, submitted, applied. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I knew that I needed my mind to shift first. Because otherwise, I'm just going to keep surrounding myself with stuff that I ain't never going to look at. I ain't care. I had to make myself care. I had to watch what I saw that I thought was valuable information and take it in obsessively to where I didn't need to do videos no more. It was like, oh, I hear it loud and clear. Oh, if I post every day, then my life will change indefinitely for a year. If you post every single day for 1 year, your whole life will change. Why? Your life gonna change because your mindset will shift. Because once it shifts, it's like, oh, okay, so what is people doing? How you come up with the plan? What's the strategy? What's the virtual assistant? What scheduler program is people using? How are people monetizing this? It's been an automatic progression. And the only goal was I need to post every day to see what dude was talking about when he said post every day and your life will never be the same. Which means the act of posting arguably is more important than what you post, how you post it, what it looks like, if it worked, if it got engagement.
Say that again.
Arguably, the act of posting on a regular basis is more important than what you post, how you post, when you post, if you got a plan, if you got a strategy, if you like it, if you don't like it. Like, look at it like this. Some of the most successful people are saying you got to post 5 to 20 pieces of content a day. Right. You don't believe it yet.
No, that's a lot.
But it only feels like a lot when you don't believe it yet. Or when you're trying to figure out. But when you're trying to figure out how you going to do 5 to 20 a day if I don't even be interested in doing one? See, that's what the quiet part of your mind is saying. I ain't even figuring out how to do this once a day. How the heck am I ever going to get to 20? I'm telling you, once you start doing it every day, it starts to be easy to imagine and envision how you do 20. I couldn't imagine myself having 20 pieces of content to post or not overthinking posting 20 pieces of content in a day until 8 months after I done tried to post every day. Because now I can see it. Why? Because now I got a folder. I got 5 different folders that I pull content from. And it's all a different kind of variation of my content. And all of them got a couple hundred pieces of content in them. So it's like, oh, this is how you post 20 a day.
And they reposting every fucking thing.
And they reposting everything, especially the strongest stuff. The strongest stuff is coming up on these people's timeline at least every 20 posts. So imagine you got 20 pieces of content that's just amazing that always need to be reseen. I couldn't imagine. I read dudes saying 20 pieces of content 3 years ago. I'm like, well, shit, 20 pieces of content? How the heck is he doing that? 3 years later, I said, oh, I know exactly what he's doing. He creating long form content, meaning it's 15 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour, and then he cutting that up into 40 pieces of content.
How do you know what content is real content?
How you know what?
She asked a question that I didn't understand.
Oh, what you say?
How do you know what content is that content?
The response that you get from people.
Okay.
You know, the one that people sharing, the one that people saying, "Oh, I appreciate you. Oh, I love this page," or whatever the heck people saying.
So using the insights.
Yeah, using the analytics, using the reaction to people from people to assess what's successful, and it not being based on likes, more than anything based on views. Views, shares, saves say more than likes. Like I said, these companies on this television spend a certain amount of money on commercials, and they ain't just showing us that commercial once. They showing us that commercial over and over and over again. They didn't put their product somewhere for us to go get it, and showing us over and over and over again. When we get in one of those places, we buy it. It's the same strategy here. What you're selling, your product, your service, your knowledge is somewhere connected in that link tree. And you start showing this over and over and over again. Your story, your goals, your challenges, your solutions. You show that over and over and over and over again and lead people back to your link tree seems to be the format that people are implementing, generally speaking.
I went to my analytics for the last 90 days and noticed that a video that I put up like a month and a half ago is at 9,000 views.
And you ain't know that.
No,
What video?
that video on how to prepare a stitch braid. The one where I ain't even tell them what to do. I just told them how to start.
Right.
So I need to make more of that.
Well, right. And if you look at the whole process of it, if the whole process is 10 steps, then that's 10 videos. And then you do each one of those steps 10 different times. Now you at 100 pieces of content. So that's how I can start to imagine, oh, this is what they mean. You could do it's 20 a day. I ain't did 20 in a day. I think the most I did was 4. But I felt good when I did 4.
Shit, 4 sounds like a lot to me.
You said 4 sound like a lot?
Yeah, just because I ain't did shit yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, now I got multiple folders where I got 200 some pieces of content. And, you know, I done ran through them. And I'm organizing them as I run through them. So I can always go double back and then grab the stuff that's been posted.
Do you have a set regimen of what you post, or do you just pick something random out the folder and just let it be?
A lot of times what I do is I'll go to maybe my most recent conversation and I'll clip up 2 or 3 videos. And then I'll have those ready to go. And a lot of times I'll just clip them up and put them on the scheduler all in the same 10 to 15 minute process.
Oh, so you can schedule the post.
Yes.
For it to do it automatically.
Yes.
You gotta go to the app every time.
Yes.
All type of shit.
Yes.
Do you do that all day, every day?
What's that, the scheduler?
Yeah.
I do the scheduler. Well, I'm gonna tell you exactly how I do it. So the scheduler is an example of me trying to create a new habit. So normally I would just go straight to TikTok first, because the way I can copy and write the caption in TikTok. For whatever reason, I must not care about TikTok the same way because I can write my captions quicker. I can be more honest and direct. So I'll edit the video in CapCut, and CapCut is connected to TikTok. So once you export it, it's a share button. Boom, I hit right share instant to TikTok. So now I'm in TikTok. Once I'm in TikTok, I create a caption that I always love for whatever reason. I copy it. I post. I go to Instagram and I paste it. And then I upload the video that I just pasted up, put in TikTok. I got real good at that. That was my system. And I was doing that daily, multiple times a day. And I got comfortable doing that. And then I'm like, okay, I need to challenge myself because I felt myself getting comfortable. So I get the scheduler. So once I got the scheduling app, and I might be only like 2 months into the scheduling app. Yeah. I wasn't as productive with the scheduling app because now I'm trying to create a new routine. And I was posting less with the scheduling app, but I was trying not to let myself just depend on what I always was doing, which is posting in the software, in the regular Instagram and TikTok. So in the last 2 months, now I'm almost getting daily on the scheduling app. But I got a similar regimen. CapCut edit, export out of CapCut. I still post it straight to TikTok. Then I go right to Metricool, copy the caption, and post to Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Threads, and whichever one I'm missing, Instagram. That post that I just edited in CapCut. So I post to all of those on the scheduler every time I post.
So when you're doing videos, you're going from CapCut.
Yep.
You put it right on TikTok, and then from whatever you put on TikTok, you just share it wherever else you want to share it, like the same video, or you cut it up more.
No, what I do is CapCut with an automatic share to TikTok. I just use TikTok to copy my caption.
That's just for okay.
So I post on TikTok, but I create the caption there. I copy the caption, and then I go to Metricool, and then I pull the video that didn't go when I exported it. So I ain't got no TikTok watermark on there. I actually create another post in Metricool or Instagram, but now it's been Metricool.
Gotcha.
I don't share to the other platforms from TikTok.
Right, because that would create the watermark to TikTok.
Yep. And I heard that you get less engagement on videos on Instagram with watermarks from TikTok.
That's fine. I can see that though.
Right. So that's been my steps. But I said all that to say that it's beneficial to create, when you create a new routine, is to first work on creating a new routine, nothing else. Like I ain't really beating myself up about how I schedule as much as I look at the fact that I get 50 free scheduled posts a month. And at the end of the last 2 months, I'm looking at how many available ones I have. Because now I'm actually engaging in a system that's tracking my post. So if I got 50 and I look up and I think the first month I might have had 38 left, which means I only had posted 12 times that month using it. I'm looking at getting that number down. I don't know what it is now, but it's in the 20s. So I'm getting close to posting every day, at least once with the scheduling app. That's my focus. Not 100% the content, not if it's right, not what order, not if it's a meme or if it's a video. I'm just getting the rhythm of posting with the scheduling app. Just like I was getting the rhythm of taking in information, talking about digital economics. Like I really compartmentalize my brain to learn the new thing I need to learn and don't really focus on all of the other outside stuff. You know? It's like, what am I learning right now? Oh, I need to learn frameworks, which means I ain't thinking nothing about nothing else. Frameworks. What's a framework? Okay, the action, the replicable steps that somebody could take to reach the goal that you reached. That's a framework. Okay, what's my steps? What's my steps? If this is my skill, this is my knowledge, what's the steps? So for 3 months, I'm trying to figure out how to see it. And then now I recognize my frameworks. But when I'm trying to understand frameworks with my connected to my goal based on what I would teach somebody how to do, I wasn't thinking about how to market it. I wasn't thinking about what the product was. It was like, don't even try to figure out what this product is going to be, Donald. If you can't even figure out what the framework is, what the steps are that you selling to somebody. So I saw a post this morning that I thought was raw for our conversation. And I mean, basically the guy was giving the advice to somebody who was broke and had 2 jobs and had kids and all this stuff. You know, somebody just like, okay, what am I supposed to do when my whole life is just messed up and I'm trying to figure out how to get to the next level? I identified what dude said, and it kind of explained part of the process that I took myself through. And the first tip and suggestion was cut all cost.
What does he mean by that?
Cut all costs is get rid of as many expenses as possible.
Gotcha.
Any extra available money needs to be preserved for being able to develop knowledge and develop skills. It's like there is no such thing as extra money. And this is very much me cutting off my cell phone, not buying designer clothes, not eating out, not smoking weed, like not blowing any of the money. Like really going through a period of time where I'm using the money to build my own personal value. So at the very least, I can make more money off the skill or start to be able to make more money off of something that I know that I could teach somebody. Yeah, cut all costs. I moved to New York City, and when I moved to New York City, I didn't smoke weed for the first 3 years I was there. Because I felt like how I'm going to smoke weed and feel like I don't got no money simultaneously. How I'm going to eat out at restaurants if I feel like I'm broke and don't have no money. So I'm going to develop some more skills to add more value so I can make more money. So yeah, cut all costs.
Well, to me, when you say cut all costs and the way you just explained it, what I heard or how I interpret that is make sure your mind set is matching the actions that you take. So I combine that in terms of
Cost.
yeah, like man, I think I'm broke, but I'm out eating all day. You contradicting yourself. Like you ain't broke, you going broke, or you spending the money, but it's not to say that you don't have the money before you spend it. Type thing.
I hear you. Yeah, but in a simple way, it's like stop spending your money on anything other than what develops you or what you provide. You know, it's kind of like what I asked one day when we was in there. It's like, man, what is everybody spending their money on? Ain't no laptops, ain't no editing decks, ain't no keyboards, ain't nothing to show physically for the money that's eating up everybody's time. Ain't nothing to show. Ain't nothing that could make more money. You know, my whole thing was I only spend money on stuff that makes money. If it don't make money, I don't buy it. You know? Like at all. Which then turned into a very healthy habit after 20 years of doing that. You know? And it's like, oh, okay, I could buy myself a pair of jeans. The other thing was to increase income. So you got more money to spend on the stuff that makes money if you can figure out ways to increase the amount of money that you make.
Say that again, please.
You have more money to spend on things that bring you more money if you can increase the amount of money that you make. So in them areas where you ain't charging enough, in those areas where you giving discounts, in those areas where you giving breaks, in those areas where you then reach the max or the ceiling of what you can make doing what you're doing, is really thinking through how to increase your income, you know? And you've been doing that in the raw, that's all you do. You know?
Was what?
You figured out a lot of different ways to increase your income.
To increase my income.
Yeah, you have an income, you have an idea what you know what you're making, you have an idea what you want to be making, and then you go through a process of, okay, how can I increase the amount of money that I'm making?
Right, but the problem is I don't cut all costs.
Okay.
I got so many situations, subscriptions, clothes, stuff
Gotcha.
that's unnecessary. So just imagine
You charging?
Yeah.
if I would cut off costs with all my income.
You be rich.
No, not necessarily like rich, but I would have more.
You have
I can
investment money.
invest more in my craft and my.
It's definitely easier to buy 17 pairs of jeans than to save like $3,000.
You said it is?
Yes.
Said yes.
It's like the temporary impulsiveness in comparison to waiting out and getting that thing done.
Yeah, because Susie said I had a shopping cart.
I said you addicted to shopping a little bit.
See,
I said I am too.
right, and see, I think I use most of the people around me and watch how they spend money as a way to help me try to stay focused on, I only spend money on things that make money. And I have a hard time giving myself permission to spend money on something that doesn't generate money.
But watching the people around you help you get there.
100%. Yep. Yep. And I started making money early, and I was looking at what people was buying, and I wasn't making enough money to really buy what people was buying with their money. So it's like I didn't want to go get the job that people was getting to buy the expensive thing that they were buying. I was making less money, and then I wound up not buying the expensive things, and I started feeling like I had more money.
And definitely still
Like you got a good
more
job,
money than people
and you
around
spend a lot of money on what you blow the money, and I'm figuring out how to make money, and I'm spending less money, and I'm actually retaining more money.
Right.
That's that saying of it's not about what you make, it's about what you keep.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Right. Because ultimately, every time I spend the money that I'm making, I'm keeping it.
Yeah, because it's right there on that laptop. It's right there in that book bag. It's right there on the table.
Yes.
Using that to make even more money.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
So
Whether
it's like
it's
no
building the
wasted.
knowledge or the skill.
There's no wasted dollars.
Yeah.
But I need it. It just make my money.
I can make my money.
What was the other one?
Definitely.
So then the other one was,
I use that system upstairs.
oh yeah, up at the
You
top.
need a virtual assistant.
You hear me?
Yeah, I did. What do you need that for? Right now,
To do
this
my
is-
post.
What's that?
A virtual assistant.
You need a system for the virtual assistant, because that's what I learned once we called them. So for the virtual assistant, you need a system, because that's what they wanted to know when we called them. That was
I
the
need a system before the virtual assistant.
And what was the 3 things that you needed? The ideas, the content, and the...
I can't remember, maybe. But the system, you developing the system now. The system is the organized content in pots that you've already kind of experimented with, got feedback on. And when you create those pots, if you're going to go the route of hiring a virtual assistant, then you can instruct them to do the strategy that you realized that you wanted for your page.
Cause have you started your folders?
Mhm.
About how many memes you got in that folder?
Right, a lot.
Well, the pink memes I have 200.
Right.
It's
200
200 posts out of the whole year.
Right.
Right, but I don't posted most of them.
That's where we talk about that getting over. You need to post it. Yeah, I mean, getting over, you need to post something new. That's why she keeps saying, see, you want to post something new.
And even if you post that in the morning, you still deserve to post something else at the end of the day and not overthink it. Like that's just one of the folders.
Those pink memes.
You get tired of hearing them. We
No,
want
they
to.
are.
They're not.
Watch
We're never
this.
tired of them.
They told me they don't like them.
Who told you that?
The likes.
Right. But listen, watch this. I knew that's what you was about to say. My love. So this is what I'm gonna tell you. Think about it like this. On the videos that get 3 likes, how many views did it get?
You right. Cause let me show you. Now I gotta get good.
I'm asking a question.
I don't know.
Well, let's just say that the views are low.
Cause this one got 700 views and it only got 4 likes.
Right. So that's 1.
Right, but it don't do good the second time you post it.
Listen. Just listen.
Okay.
On the videos that get 3 likes, oftentimes it only got 20 views.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that tell you?
That everybody
they're
didn't
looking.
see it.
That nobody saw it.
You got way more than 20 people.
Ain't nobody seeing it and not liking it. They're not seeing it.
Oh, so that means you gotta post it again? Because it didn't show up on their feed?
What I'm saying is when you first start posting on Instagram, I've noticed that you get a huge engagement. And once you go through this period of trying to post more often, your engagement decreases. And I feel like that point is the point that makes or break people. People sometimes don't make it through the phase of the low engagement to go into the next phase, which is a higher engagement. I feel like Nate done experienced it.
And I feel like I'm still experiencing it. Not
Say
trying
that
to
again.
get carried away of the fact that the engagement is not as high as I want it to be, and not being a part of the system that fall off or fail and don't keep going because I feel like my time gonna come.
Right.
That's it. Like
Right. It's like if you can make it past that phase that feels slow, you'll be fine. Because you'll be then created a routine that this is a part of what you do.
Right.
It's not something that you need this specific outcome for. It just becomes an extension of what you're doing. But when I first started posting, my stuff was getting all kinds of views. And then I noticed that sometimes when I post the videos of me talking, the engagement ain't the same. But I realize that it ain't that people don't like it when didn't nobody see it. If didn't nobody see it, it's got more to do with however these platforms function than people not liking it. But when you creating a rhythm of getting posting on a regular basis so you can get ready to develop some kind of strategy and plan, that's the goal. The goal ain't the likes. The goal is I'm making sure I post this morning. I'm going to make sure I post before I go to sleep because I'm trying to build that habit. The habit is the goal, not the likes. Because once you got the habit built, you can experiment on what increases your engagement. Build the habit. Because when you get the virtual assistant, you just going to say, oh, this is my routine. On Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays at 9 o'clock in the morning, you post a meme. On Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, we post videos. On Friday evening, we post the reading. You feel what I'm saying? It's like,
That's when I get my virtual assistant.
but you gonna have to tell your virtual assistant, which means you want to experiment.
You might need to start with that.
Yeah.
That was a good one. You heard that? He said Monday, Wednesday, and then he said Monday, Wednesday, Friday you post the memes. On Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday you post the videos, and then on some other day you post the reading.
Right. And then you post the carousel
Of what?
of the memes.
Yes.
And then you make the memes tell a story
Yeah, you
different-
ain't did that yet.
differently than how you posted it the first time.
Where you sit there and you take us through 10 fucking swipes.
And now you got 15 or 20 swipes. Let's go.
now you got
Do one of them
stories.
once a week.
Tell them hoes why you love sisterhood.
Mm-mm.
Tell us why you love working with black girls.
You gotta turn it into fun.
Fun. You're
You
not
got-
having fun yet.
you ain't
We-
having fun
we can
yet.
Tell.
Yeah, you ain't having fun yet. You just gotta enjoy and play. You gotta sit there and
You ain't got shit on there. What you gonna
look,
look at?
you gotta look at a
Yeah,
post
yeah.
that you wanna post and get uncomfortable, like, oh, am I really gonna post this? And then
Them
throw it
ones
out
you need
there.
to post, the ones that make you think that. You heard what your husband said?
Am I gonna post this?
No, ooh, am I supposed to post this?
Yes,
You need to post
don't
them.
yeah, you need to post them.
Look at all them.
And then it was my birthday in the middle of that.
Uh-uh.
But like these, putting them together with 4 or 5 of them, you ain't tried that yet. Putting black ones with pink ones, they not segregated.
So this is my last point.
Talking more about the ones that got lots of comments.
We need to make sure what was needed is a different information diet.
Mm.
Because the different information diet helps restructure the mindset.
And you can tell what your information diet is based on your explore page.
Yes.
And I just found out it's a thing on Instagram to where you can reset your explore page.
Oh, that's raw.
Allison's
That's what I
always
need
telling
for
them
that.
that she's not interested in some shit.
Yeah, they don't listen.
They do listen.
Look,
You didn't watch them hair
but
videos.
and you can change your Explorer page in a matter of minutes.
Mm-hmm. With the next thing you search.
All you got to do is like something, save something, share something, and you're gonna look at your Explorer page, and it's gonna start to get rid of all of the hairstyles.
You might Google more than you ask Instagram, and you might want to use it like Google. You ain't sitting there asking about the writing world. You ain't sitting there asking about who up under Ariana Grande pictures. You ain't really engaging with it.
But yeah, the different information diet.
I need that.
Cause it's this what we doing is gonna take like a very abnormal approach, like a very this is a very disciplined, strategic, specific, tunnel vision, very rigid. You want to create a very rigid process. You don't want it to be loose. You want it to be very, very formal. Like the framing of it all, and then play within the boundaries of that.
So like strict plan, no room to give yourself the excuse when you don't do it.
Right.
That type thing.
But being free enough to say, well, I'm about to just throw this out there just to check off the post for the day.
Right.
I ain't overthink it.
Right.
I did not do it though.
So if the goal is to
Write a random
post
quote
or
on
have the
random
habit
shit.
you want to build,
Yes.
but I gotta post
Post notes,
this time or this
journal.
time.
Yes.
No matter what it is you post,
Yeah.
you post.
Go and get your 21 days of that in.
Right.
And even if it ain't them, it's the ones you already made.
You know?
Right.
Be
That's how I live.
uncomfortable enough to post the
That
same
t-shirt.
piece of content for
That
21
you
days
see
straight.
that You probably could have.
Because who knows what happens when you do that?
Right.
And how uncomfortable does that feel in your gut? Just the thought of doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
T-shirts.
And just and it's experimenting and it's play. Like, you know how uncomfortable it was for me to say I'm gonna post this video out of CapCut right to TikTok, and then keep TikTok in Metricool when I schedule it, meaning it's gonna be on my timeline twice. Even though I done seen people, they posting strategies, they post the same video 3 times in a row. When you go to their page, everything they posted is 3 times in a row.
Every block is the same thing.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
right. So that person gave me permission to do it, and I still was uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, just hearing it, I'm like, that's crazy. Man.
Right.
They got 12 comments. They want to hear you talk more.
It ain't no wrong way to experiment. You know?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That was good. Thoughts?
That was good.
Questions?
This always make me want to go post and stuff, and then
Right.
the next day come, and then I'll just go back to. So I got to get better at believing, commitment, and creating new routines and sticking to them.
Right. And this is, I'm going to tell you, the thing that helped me start to believe it was continuously listening to the people who is breaking down and talking about digital economics.
Yeah, Dan gonna make you believe it.
Right. And if you can't get into him, because some people said they can't really get into him,
You said that.
Uncut Art School got a digital economics YouTube channel where we probably got about 10, 12 videos. You feel what I'm saying? That's ready to,
Take you on that loop.
yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't need Danco.
Yeah, you could. I've been looking at our stuff.
You do?
I love his content.
I do too. Danco.
Yeah, it's just straight to the point. It's just
Yeah. It took
Yeah,
me
we talk.
it took me a minute to be able to sit and watch, but once I got over it, because I just made myself get over it. I want the information. Once I got over it, every day I got in that truck and drove downtown to the print shop, I'm watching the 20-minute Danco YouTube. On my way back up, I'm watching another video. So I did that for 3 months. Every morning, I listened to a Danco video for 3 months. And then I was saving the ones that I felt was specific, the ones I really needed to study. And I would just listen to those same ones over and over and over again. The $100,000 product that you're sitting on that's in your mind, productizing your knowledge. It was specific ones, being a value creator versus being a skill creator. It's specific videos that he created where I wanted to really understand what he was saying.
That don't go
And
on
I
post
did
today,
that
though.
a little less than a year ago.
You
Oh,
need
yeah,
to-
I just want to post it.
And that helped
Okay.
me understand what these other people talking about.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looked like it's working for you.
Hey, look, it's just, and I didn't realize it was working. I've been frustrated watching them videos.
Definitely
Is
working
it
for you.
these ones that your husband posted?
Productizing the knowledge for sure.
Hey, right. And I'm like at the, maybe I would say like the second or third step. I got a list of products that have frameworks. Now the frameworks, I'm adding the challenges to my frameworks. When I'm talking to y'all, I'm able to get more strategic at how I deliver my conversations. My conversations, they just becoming more organized. And then I'm transcribing some of the audio of the conversations. I can go back and look at notes. I use these as my notes like I'm, a class teacher. Got some flash note cards for how I structure my tweets. You feel what I'm saying?
Remember this.
And it just,
I do
it's amazing to me because I'm just watching this happen. I don't even know what's about to happen next. I'm just trying not to get frustrated enough
to stop.
to stop. Yep. And I'm seeing that it's actually growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Definitely.
So, yeah. And right now I'm doing what's called affiliate marketing. So I can sell the products of this page here. The guy who wrote this book, the first one and the second one, The Hidden Knowledge, or the Hidden Book of Wisdom or whatever, he got an affiliate program, which means you can log into his affiliate program, get your own specific link, put that link in your bio. You get a percentage off anything that people buy.
Right.
But I created a whole separate page for it just to continuously build into productizing knowledge. You follow it. What is it? Find something to sell?
That's you?
Yeah.
Hell no. That's you? Nah, that's cold. That's cold. That's cold. I definitely thought that was a random motherfucker. I'm like, what is he posting, man? Let me see what's up. Damn. It's working.
Hey, look. Hey, he got the whole system. He teach you how to do it just by these little steps on this little PDF. He said, use this app to download my videos. Go log into this account, connect it to your PayPal, and you get percentage off of stuff when it sells.
That's crazy.
So I'm just trying to post once a day with that account.
That's
Lula Roo
crazy.
said that this is definitely better than Danco. I be having a hard time receiving them. I just be in there listening to what he got to say. He be dropping some gems.
Oh my God, he's dropping gems.
They just be real straightforward.
And he young. He ain't no more than he younger than 30. And he talking that $1 per follower per month. And I ain't about to let myself ignore that. $1 per follower per month?
Shit, you already got what, like 12?
Right, which means I need to keep working the system so I can figure out different ways to convert those followers into customers.
How to
You
start
know,
a billion
I only-
business. Don't.
Come on, I just want to let me get 1,000 of them to
Well,
start
at
off
least
with.
follow him on Instagram. If y'all ain't gonna watch his videos, follow him on Instagram. Cause the posts be hitting too.
Yeah, and it's the same content. Like if you watch the video, you realize that he took that video, turned that video into the newsletter. No, what he does is he writes his newsletter first. Then he reads his newsletter to the camera and he posts that on YouTube.
So you need to
Then he
do
take that newsletter and he take the different points of the newsletter and he turns it into memes and he posts those on Instagram. So you actually, when you follow Danco, you get a different version of his content on different platforms. But if you follow him on all of the platforms, you realize it's the same information.
Mm-hmm.
And I subscribe to his newsletter. I get it every Saturday morning.
Now, is that him doing that, take the long form video, cut it up, and make it into...
Right, but what he doing is he does long form content, which is not exclusive to the video. Long form content could be the newsletter as well.
Gotcha.
So he's starting with his long form as the newsletter. So he writes the newsletter and all of the bullet points, and he's literally sitting there reading his newsletter to the camera. But when we experience it, it looked like he's just talking to the camera.
Right.
And then that newsletter spills out on his Saturday weekly. The newsletter comes out every Saturday. But if you follow him on Twitter and you follow him on Instagram, he takes the points from the newsletter and he turns it into memes. And all of that stuff is posting on all platforms weekly. And he got however many millions of followers throughout 3 platforms. And he got a subscription group where you pay $40 a month. And he got 3,000 people subscribed to it. All paying $40 a month to get this information from him and I think 10 other people that's in his mastermind group. But then I done took 2 of his courses. I took a writing course that's teaching persuasive writing, which is this. And then he got another course of how to monetize your knowledge.
From him?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
felt like I just read a post and then it was that. I
Oh
swear I
yeah,
did.
Well, this is where I got it from. And I got this from him. We've been using this, Allie, for the last year at least, which is just helping structuring storytelling.
Damn.
Story already there, but this is just the order, how to introduce it. So
How to learn any skill fast. Stop studying, outline the project, start building it, hit a roadblock, research how to overcome it, repeat it, complete it.
bam. He ain't bad to follow on Instagram if you can't listen to him and don't want to hear him talk,
Yeah.
just because he hitting these points. And, some people love him and some people hate him.
Right.
But he giving away some jewels. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll make I got 2 collections of saved posts. One that's relevant for Uncut Mondays. And then another one, I need to organize it better, but it's for social media, productizing knowledge, where I save posts in a collection. And I can make those collections public,
Okay.
just because my timeline, ain't nothing on my timeline but this.
This is one girl I followed from Cleveland because I just love her marketing.
All right, so we out of here. You like it?
Damn.
What this be talking about? We'll be back next week. But yeah, so no, we rolling on this weekly though.